Vladimir Kotin, the 23-year-old fifth-place finisher in the 1985 World Championships, has been in the World Championships 5 times before. This is number 6, and at the moment he can play a very key role in the fortunes of Brian Orser. Vladimir Kotin is in 6th place at the moment, but he was 3rd in the short program. He's an excellent free skater.
The triple left jump. Beautifully done. Nice and straight in the air. Good speed coming out, followed by a triple toe loop.
Even though he finished 5th place in the world last year, he was the Soviet national champion.
Does some very interesting things choreographically. Technically, he has all the expertise of the best free skaters, but I enjoy watching him. His programs are interesting.
Now that was a 2-foot landing on that triple flip jump, so theoretically the judges should not mark that jump, just as if it's never been done. However, if I was judging, I would give some credit to it myself.
Doesn't that type of costume bother a skater when he's out there?
I don't think so. Personally, I think it's quite effective on the ice because it's so different from everybody else. The one sleeve perhaps could cause some problems, but I think if you skate in it several times before the performance, it shouldn't be a problem.
Remember, the free skating is for 50% of the total marks. He was 9th after the compulsory figures and 3rd in the short program, so he is 6th overall.
The kind of toe work from that footwork section can be very difficult, particularly done at fast speeds. Very brutal on the ankle.
4.5 minutes for the men.
There's some of that innovative choreography, taking a normal spin, adding positions to it.
There's a double salto. I think that was meant to be a triple. You know, Vladimir, there he does the triple now. See, Vladimir has really made his mark in the skating world as one of the most original and innovative skaters of the 80s. And the skating world demands more than just isolated elements. And Vladimir delivers. However, this evening, I think that a few of the technical flaws are taking away from the conviction that he usually has in a long program.
Vladimir Kotin from the Soviet Union. We saw him first in Skate Canada back in 1978. We were looking for Kotin to move up a little bit to help him with that juggling act of catching Fadeev.
Well, I thought he might have been a factor in juggling those top three, but I don't think so with this performance, not with this set of marks.
Well, first marks for technical merit, 6, 7, 6s across, and 2 more 7s. And then we'll have our second set of marks for artistic impression. This is not quite as good as Kotin had been expected to deliver. His marks for artistic impression range from 5.7 to 5.9. Vladimir Kotin of the Soviet Union. The 22-year-old world champion Alexandr Fadeev of the Soviet Union. This is his 5th world championship. He is the leader. He led in all 3 categories last year. He's leading right now, so somebody has to catch him in order for Orser to have a chance to beat him.
And Johnny, this program for Fadeev is a very, very different departure from the kind of program he does. It's a very ice-capade-y kind of program. Quick music.
Here comes Fadeev's triple axel attempt. Oh, flipped out of the landing, but he still did a double salto afterwards.
Under pressure, he can have some problems with the landing positions. Watch the left hip on the landing. Tries to pull back all the time. If he rushes, it can give him a lot of trouble.
Fadeev has won medals in the last 2 world championships. He was 3rd in 84, 1st in 85, and he was the one that had to go head-and-head with Orser in this one. That's the way it's been built up all year long, I guess. Certainly all week long here in Geneva. That's 3 that he's missed.
That's the second triple axel he just threw in there with a double toe combination, and that one was done cleanly. I think in the back of his mind he knew that he had to get a triple axel done cleanly. There was a quad toe attempt that he just fell on.
We have never had a quad toe at a world championship or officially in competition. And he was under pressure knowing that he started slowly and was going to have to do it to stay ahead. Until 2 years ago, he always led at the figures, but he would have this kind of trouble in the long or the short program. Last year, he was clean as a whistle and beat Brian cleanly, having his difficulty today.
I really felt that last year he beat Brian, believe it or not, on technical components. He just had more in. Now they've spruced up the number, they've made it more appealing, more entertaining, tried to make him more interesting, but without the technical part, pretty tough.
Two minutes and 35 seconds into the 4.5-minute performance by Fadeev, and he looks tiring.
Very often with a mistake, and particularly when you have multiples like he has had already, they can be more tiring than executing the program perfectly.
Brian Boitano is in 4th place, and he'll follow Fadeev.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe it. Down to slow motion now. This is not Fadeev.
Interesting exit out of the double axel into a back sit spin. This is the fascinating thing about figure skating. You never know what's going to happen. The best champions those in the best kind of condition.
But you remember in Sarajevo, he had this kind of a night. He was fifth out to the figures. He was eighth in the short program, and he came out in the 7th place overall because he just couldn't keep it on ice. Last year, he was outstanding. Alexandr Fadeev, the defending world champion. He'll be followed by Brian Boitano of the United States.
And here's a look at one of the triple axel attempts. The very first one pulling into the double toe loop.
I can't believe what I am seeing. A 5'9" from the Soviet judge. I am not. Oh, and a 5'8" from the Austrian judge. He can't believe it either. Oh, and the crowd is booing.
I don't think I've ever seen booing for high marks before.
Now, the Soviet judge has not been under 5'3" since the 17th skater. But with a 5'9", after 4 or 5 absolute disasters on the ice, this is an absolute joke. (5'9", 5'6", 5'5", 5'6", 2'5", is a 5'6", 5'8", and a 5'5", and this is for technical merit.
So that puts the Soviet judge and the judge from Austria having Fadeev in the first position.
And now, with the second set of marks, the Russian judge comes up with a 5.8, Japan with a 5.8, the Austrian with a 5.8, and the rest are down to 5.4s. Brian Boitano, gold medalist from the United States. Brian Boitano, third in the world last year. An outstanding skater, a fine young man, 22 years of age, can do it all.
Here's the setup for the triple left jump. Beautiful height. Look at the control on the landing. And this is Brian's kind of music from A-Train. Here's a triple axel. Into double toe loop.
Combination of triple toe, double loop. Very difficult to keep the flow going on 3 jumps.
Jump double toe. And look at the unhurried, relaxed, and confident kind of speed and motion that he is using.
Coach Linda Lever has put together a beautiful program for Brian Boitano, and he's carrying it through with marvelous, marvelous timing. His moves are just right on. Free skating program, two Soviets, Kotin and Petrenko, have both beaten Fadeev. But Fadeev is still in first place.
Another triple, this time a triple salto. It just seems there's no stopping Brian. He's hot tonight. He just can't seem to step wrong.
And the program has great variety, good pacing.
Well, I must say, Debbie, all week in practice, I really haven't been too taken with the program, but like I said in the short program, he does come alive in performance, and it's definitely to his credit. It's working tonight.
It's a marvelous audience here, too. The building is jam-packed. Great energy. Of course, a huge U.S. contingent here.
Just while we have a chance, we can tell you that Wilson and McCall of Canada looking good going into the final dance. They're going to be in fourth place, very close to the third Russian pair. Here's the finale for Brian Boitano, and he's got a good one, a standing ovation. Could be the performance of his lifetime. He was absolutely flawless, and if the Soviet judge doesn't give him a 6 after giving a 5-9 to Fadeev for technical merit, there should be an investigation.
Well, I think there will be anyway, so.
The problem is, however, that once a mark is recorded, it's never changed.
Brian Boitano is a very popular young man in Canada. He won Skate Canada back in 1982, and he did it with all the elan in the world. He then went on into the Worlds in 1983 and finished 7th, and he's been climbing that ladder step by step, 6th in 84 and 3rd in 85, and boy, he's going to be near the top if he isn't there in this one. Going to believe this, 5/8 and 2 5/9, but the 5/8 from the Soviet judge, who gave the Soviet skater Fadeev a 5/9 after falling 4 times badly.
I actually think that Fadeev did not really complete maybe one triple jump. I guess that's...
Oh, he did a few, but still, I mean, there's
no comparison.
There's no comparison. There's no point discussing. It's just wrong.
Second set of marks, 8s and 9s, 5/8, 5/9 for Brian Boitano. He deserves them all. Jozef Sabovcik of Czechoslovakia. He's in second place. He was second after figures, 4th in the short program. He is a hurt skater. He's hurting.
You're right, Johnny. He's got problems with his knees. It's a recurring injury. And you will notice as you watch the landing of his jump, here comes the triple axel jump. Open to a single. But watch in his landing style, you will see incredible knee bends. Kind of like a cat. He was very cautious throughout the warm-up. tried a few things. There's a beautiful triple toe loop. When a skater is hurting, I think that that's constantly at the front of their mind as they're skating. You're trying to save yourself. You really can't put your energy into performance. You've got to be able to let go. Joseph does some training in Aurelia with Doug Lee and Brian Orser. In fact, he and Brian are good buddies. Nice triple Salchow. I think there has been tremendous artistic improvement for Joseph in the last year or so. Programs are better, more interesting, more difficult. And he seems to be generally more aware of the audience.
I think that just comes with time and experience. I can remember competing against Joseph way back in 79, and as you say, Debbie, to see the growth, it's really quite wonderful. But I would keep talking about that knee injury, and again, I think that that's at the front of his mind. I think that he can't let go and perform tonight. He's worried.
This is not the inspired Jozef Sabovcik that we've seen, the athletic, talented. This is playing to bad knees. Like that.
And we all expected so much because he nearly landed a quad.
He also nearly withdrew.
In Europeans, he almost landed the quad, and I think we were all expecting it here.
Like Lyndon Johnson, he's going through it. He's trying to finish. There's 30 seconds to go, and he's just going through the motions to finish a program. Brian Orser is next. I take my hat off to this young man for being able to finish. Watch him go to center ice. He can hardly skate. Brian, you've seen him. Look at. Oh.
Well, it was just sheer guts that got him through that performance. I have personally never skated on an injury like that. And watch as you go, watch the Lutz jump here. I'm not sure if it was a double. He didn't even go for the triple. And you can see on the right there that the knee just can't handle the landing.
Here's a look at the triple flip jump. right back on the heel of the landing edge there. Couldn't possibly have pulled out.
For Jozef Sabovcik, for technical merit, Jozef Sabovcik, 5 4s and 5, down to a 5-1, 2 and a 3. And it took them a while to get those marks up there because I really don't know how much difficulty they had in wondering where to really place him for the way he tried and what he was able to compete with. And now the marks for artistic impression ranging from 5-0 to 5.6. Brian Orser for Canada, 2-time silver medalist, Olympic silver medalist, won the short program, was 5th in the compulsory figures. He's got it now. He has to go and get it. From the Mariposa Winter Club, from Penetang, Ontario.
Oh, bang! Triple nuts right off the top.
Notice no preparation. He didn't even skate once around the ice. Here's the setup for the first triple axel.
Oh!
Oh, my God.
He has the second one planned.
Have to chase Scotty Hamilton every year and try to come from behind to catch him, beat him in the short, beat him in the long, couldn't beat him overall. Similarly with Alex Fadeev, had a chance to beat Fadeev. He comes right back with his combination this time. No mistake about that one.
Triple Salchow double loop. He has had tremendous practice this year. His choreographer, one of his coaches, was telling me that she sort of sees him like an onion. The pearl of the onion has been gradually peeled away to reveal itself, and certainly artistically he has made nothing but improvements and progress onward and upward. Fabulous combination with the double axel triple toe. For viewers at home to appreciate the directional placement and element placement in a program, but this is a superb program. It's covering every piece of the ice.
Very well designed too with the slow shot sections. There's 2 of them here, and I believe that this is where Brian has his second triple axel planned here. Oh, he slipped out of that one again. That's very difficult, the 4-minute mark, a second triple axel.
That means that Brian Boitano is looking pretty good at this moment.
Best skating up to this point, Johnny.
Well, Brian Boitano was fourth. Brian Orser was third.
Another triple toe at the end of the program.
Now it's up to the judges. It gets a standing ovation, but it is not magic. It is not electric as it should be at this point.
I have really been considering his involvement as kind of like the Baryshnikov of the ice. He has taken this tremendous athletic ability and honed it and developed it, but not a triple axel night tonight.
Nor a triple flip, which Boitano did. Here, let's have a look. See if we can find out what went wrong here. He went up fine. He started to lean there. Couldn't get the free leg back early. The right shoulder dropped. The edge had to come off the ice.
There's Coach Doug Lee and Ushi Kessler as choreographer.
And here's the triple salchow. Into the double loop jump. A beautiful combination and very difficult.
Okay, hard. Not hard at all. Can't believe the first act.
Me either. Started off quick. That's up. I don't know if you can pick that up. He just said it had to be that first axle. But
I think he's, as every skater does when you come off the ice, you're trying to analyze what went wrong. He doesn't know, and neither does Doug Lee.
no idea.
Seemed to go up in the air well. And he's commenting that he wasn't even tired.
Brian Boitano was clean. Brian Boitano was behind Brian Orser.
If Brian Boitano wins the long program, he could win the title.
Oh my God. Brian Boitano is the winner. Brian Boitano is the winner. The marks for Orser are 5'9", 7'8", 2'7", 5'8", 5'7", and 5'9". That's for technical merit, and the Russian judge came in with a 5'9". What a disappointing moment for Brian Orser. He had it. It was set up. And now for the second set of marks, 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", and a 5'8". The two of the things that he does better than anybody else in the world, the triple axels, he had trouble with tonight. The gold was sitting there and waiting for him, and he couldn't reach out and grab the mantle. World champion skates out there. Here is the final standing. Boitano is the gold medal. He's tied with Brian Orser, but because Boitano won the long program, he is the overall winner, and Brian Orser wins. He had a third silver medal. Alexandr Fadeev, the defending champion, is third. Vladimir Kotin is fourth. Viktor Petrenko of the Soviet Union fifth, and Jozef Sabovcik of Czechoslovakia is in sixth place. Tomorrow, the ladies' highlights, and then a full ladies' program Saturday afternoon. The dance Saturday night, and the highlights on Sunday afternoon. Reminder, too, that Jamie Eggleton of Canada finished 20th, and Neil Patterson of Canada finished in 18th position. That's the story then from Geneva. This is Johnny Esaw for Debbi Wilkes, and Brian Pockar bidding you all a very pleasant good night from Geneva.
We now join